Hi, I'm James Bruce from MakeUseOf.com, and today we're looking at an exciting new competitor in the VR marketplace, namely the Aukey Cortex 4K. It costs around $350 to $400, and courtesy of Aukey, we have one headset to give away to a lucky reader. Keep watching to find out the video code you'll need to enter. Hit up the link in the description, and the competition closes about 2 weeks after this video is published. So this is a tethered headset, and it does require a PC in order to run. It's not a cardboard or plastic shell that you put your phone into, and it's also not an all-in-one Android VR device. So it's more comparable to an Oculus Rift or HTC Vive than anything else. It runs off a single HDMI and USB 2 cable, through which rotational tracking of the headset is transmitted. Now, since there's no external tracking camera or other tracking capabilities, there is no positional tracking. So when you move your head forwards or backwards or to the side like this, it's not going to know. It's only going to know the rotational tracking like that. This is similar to the first ever Oculus Rift development kit that was released. But on the plus side, this does mean there's nothing else to plug in, just the headset itself with the USB and HDMI cable. Comparatively speaking, the headset is actually quite light and comfortable to wear. It has a built-in pair of over-the-ear headphones, which are actually pretty good. The strap at the back is a bit basic. It isn't the kind of rigid strap that cups the back of your skull like on the Oculus Rift, but it works well enough. I didn't really feel uncomfortable when wearing it for extended periods of time, but then again, I haven't really come across a VR headset that I felt uncomfortable with yet, so that's probably not saying much. So first up, my biggest complaint is that although it claims to be 4K VR, you can't actually run the thing at 4K resolution. The LCD screen inside may have a native resolution of 4K, but the image you push to it is upscaled inside the headset itself to that native resolution. And it's actually more like 1440p at 60 Hz. Now, this does still offer some advantage over the Oculus Rift or HTC Vive, namely that the so-called screen door effect, which is the mesh-like pattern that you see from in between pixels, is pretty much eliminated. However, it also means that you're not getting the full benefit of a 4K VR screen, so faraway objects and text will still be quite difficult to read clearly. However, the choice of a very slow to refresh LCD screen rather than OLED does mean that you're going to get some ghosting compared to other headsets. So when you move your head around, you're going to see a sort of after image from what you're looking at. Now, while the field of view is similar to the Rift and Vive, I did find that the colors were a little bit more muted and it wasn't quite as bright as the other headsets. Again, that's probably due to the choice of LCD screen rather than OLED. It's also important to note that there are no motion controls included in the package, nor would you actually be able to add any, due to the lack of external tracking systems. What you see is what you get, and that's going to limit you to games and experiences that pretty much exclusively use the keyboard and mouse or a separate controller. Now, it does feel like the industry in general is moving towards those room scale style experiences, which require you to move and grab objects. But there's still a lot of things that you can play on this, like racing and space sims, as well as virtual desktop and virtual cinema applications. Setup is relatively simple. You just download the PiPlay software from the Pimax forums. However, it will install an older version of Java and some DirectX things, which was a bit annoying. It is mostly compatible with Steam VR. However, without that positional tracking, you are limited to a number of games which don't require motion controls. There were specific compatibility issues, however, that I found, such as one of my favorite games, which is Dirt Rally. I also had major performance issues with Elite Dangerous. I don't know why, but it was absolutely unplayable. Other than that, mostly fine. Surprisingly, it is also compatible with most Oculus Rift games out of the box. I already had a number of Rift games installed on my hard drive, and it detected them and allowed me to launch them straight from the PiPlay software, and it ran them perfectly fine. In fact, you'll find that since the Oculus Rift was launched originally without motion controls, there's actually a pretty large archive of games that you can play there with just a controller. I spent quite a while with Eve Valkyrie, a arcade-style space sim, and it was really good. Since you're basically just sitting in a cockpit, there's very little positional tracking that's needed. You are just moving your head rotationally around. Another win was Whirligig, which is a VR video player. It handles pretty much every kind of content you can throw at it, whether that's 360, 180 degree, 3D side by side, top bottom, or just flat movies. And I could comfortably sit there and watch movies in the big virtual cinema. Combined with the built-in high quality over-the-ear headphones, that was really cool. So should you buy an Aukey Cortex 4K VR headset? This is really tricky to recommend, and it's basically because of timing. If the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive were both still twice the price of this, if they were still $800-900, then I'd have no trouble at all in recommending this as a cheaper entry point into VR. However, Oculus recently lowered the price of their headset and even the motion controller bundle to $500 for the headset alone and $600 if you want to buy the controllers as well. And to be honest, for just $100 or even $125 more than this headset, I think it's worth saving up and buying the Oculus Rift instead. Not only are you getting a better quality headset overall, along with external tracking and a better software experience, you've got the option to upgrade to a full room scale experience later if you want to spend some more money. So my recommendation would be that if you're not ready to buy yet, perhaps hold out for a sale. If you can pick up the Aukey Cortex for about $250, then it's definitely value for money, and it is a great entry point into VR, just not at $400 maybe. Anyway, if you'd like to win one for yourself, please hit up the link in the description and type in the video code 4KVR shown on screen now into the competition widget for some bonus entries in the competition. Please hit like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video for more weekly tips, competitions, gadget giveaways from all of us at MakeUseOf.com. Till next time.